we're having to build a program from nothing. The reality is to step up from zero to now we're stepping into our 5th year of having to play the Tennessees and everybody in the Sun Belt Conference and Navy. I expect nothing but great things. Now, will it be hard to go undefeated? Yeah, that'll be very difficult.
A new era in South Alabama Jag football begins in just a few days. The 5-year-old program now has full Division I status, able to compete for a Sun Belt Conference championship, bowl games, and even the BCS championship title.
Head coach Joey Jones, who has built the program from zero, recently sat down with Eric Reynolds to talk about the Jags, his career from Mobile to the pros, and becoming a coach. Here's the interview.
I got chills all over because I felt like that it was a place for me to be. I've always loved the city of Mobile, loved the people in it. I really felt good about coming back. There's a little apprehension sometimes because when you go home, obviously it's a little tougher. Bottom line is I enjoy being here.
And I'd like to introduce the new head football coach at the University of South Alabama.
Joey Jones returned to the Port City in 2008 to start and build the Jags, South Alabama's football team. His football talent was first nurtured at Mobile's Maitrey Park at the age of 7.
And I think fighting through those hard times as a young boy growing up, Maitrey Park football probably taught me more about myself than any other time. I had a coach, Steve Rogers. He was tough on us. I lost my father at a young age. Those days made me believe I could do anything. And he made a little skinny white kid from Mobile, Alabama, could believe that he could play at Alabama and play in the NFL.
Before those two stops, Jones' talent on the field at Murphy High School attracted major college recruiters. He committed to Florida State.
When my mother sat me down and said, you probably need to look at staying in the state and you're going to live in this state, you probably need to go to school here, and she was right.
Jones decommitted and headed north to Tuscaloosa.
I go to the University of Alabama, all fired up, and I met Coach Bryant. I remember he looked down at me, he's 6'4", and he's thinking, what in the world are you doing bringing this guy here to the University of Alabama? And a little bit of a burst my bubble. To play for him, though, the type of coach that he was, I would have traded anything in the world for you. When I look at Coach Bryant, I think of what I call a real man.
And try to score every time you get the football.
He wasn't a fake guy that what you saw is what you got. And that's the biggest thing I admire.
All SEC honors at Bama led to 2 stops as a professional.
Playing at the University of Alabama was probably my biggest dream. And then I felt like if I ever played in the NFL, played in the USFL, that was just going to be extra icing on the cake, and it was. And played 4 years and was very blessed.
After the NFL, Jones remembered Coach Bryant's advice.
I heard Coach Bryant say that, if you can live without it, don't do it. And that was his philosophy on coaching. He said, it's a tough profession. That's a great profession, but it's a tough one. I found myself going to people's practices and going to games, and watching football is what I love to do.
He left the insurance business to coach at Briarwood Christian in Birmingham, then head coach at Dora High School. In 1996, Mountain Brook.
But I just want to be a head coach. 9 losing seasons in a row. They were kind of the laughing stock around Birmingham. I told them, I said, if we do what we're supposed to do this year, we're going to be in a state championship game this year. And sure enough, we ended up there. That's something I'll remember the rest of my life.
10 years of success led to a call from Birmingham Southern, and then USA.
Birmingham Southern calls me out of the blue and talked to Jimbo Fisher about what I should do. He said, you need to take it. If you're going to get into college football, it's hard to get in. A year and a half later, I'm down here in South Alabama, so it's probably the right move.
23-4 the first 3 seasons, including 2 undefeated campaigns. The Jags are now at the Division I level.
The success early, I think, was critical. We're having to build a program from nothing. To now, we're stepping into our 5th year of having to play the Tennessees and everybody in the Sun Belt Conference and Navy. And I expect nothing but great things. It'll be very difficult. One thing I do know, our guys got to make up their mind. They got to believe they can do it. The good things are going to happen. I just believe that.
In Mobile, Eric Reynolds, Fox 10 News.
Jones also believes that South Alabama's quick 4-year jump to Division I was the best thing for the Jags. Familiar teams like Tennessee, Navy, Mississippi State, North Carolina State, and Troy are now on South's schedule.
Coach Jones says he's not sure how the wins and losses will turn out this year, but he is sure Jag fans will see a much better team on the field.